Welcome to Week 3 action here as your South Carolina Gamecocks take on the number 4th ranked Georgia Bulldogs. Now, last year this matchup was down to the wire. Ended up being a 24-10 ball game as the Gamecocks just barely fell. If the offense would have been consistent, they would have been able to get over the hump. I firmly believe that. But this year, the Bulldogs are without Heisman quarterback Stetson Bennett. Instead, Brock Vandagrift is going to lead this team out onto the field. They have yet to lose a game this season as they come in 4th ranked in the country, but the Bulldogs are still a very, very powerful opponent. Last week out, the Gamecocks had a tough loss to the North Carolina Tarheels, a game that I thought they could have very easily won if they had been able to keep up with that Tar Heels offense led by Drake May. But this week, Spencer Rattler and company returned to Williams-Brice Stadium with an opportunity to redeem themselves and a chance to solidify their place as first spot in the SEC Eastern Conference. Here we are today as the game is about to get underway. So, Georgia's going to elect to defer here, and the Gamecocks will start out with the ball. Rattler on 1st and 10 to start the day is going to dump it down quickly to Juju McDowell. You really want to try and be able to eliminate that Georgia defensive line because they are so good. 2nd and 5, another bit of a trick play there. Jet sweep to Landon Sampson. He's going to turn upfield for 7 yards now, 2nd and 3. On that same drive, it's going to go to Marshawn Lloyd, who bounces off a great tackle or great block right down the middle, and he's going to have 9 yards. He very much could have only had maybe 1 or 2 if that block didn't come through. Now, 1st and 10, Rattler to the flats. Juice Wells finds the hole in the zone, and this Gamecocks offense is moving quickly here on this first drive. 3rd and 1 now. Rattler going to go to Lloyd, who gets stuffed, but they're going to be generous with the placement. He gets the first down, apparently. 3rd and inches now. They go back to Lloyd on the same drive, and he's got another first down. 2nd and 9 now. Rattler. Play action to McDowell. He wants to throw. He's going to roll out of the pocket. Flyers to Bell, who breaks a tackle, and he is off across the 15, maybe pushed back to the 16. He broke a couple tackles there at the end. 1st and 10 now. Marshawn Lloyd on the counter play is going to get wrapped up on the outside. He's got 6 yards, though. Now 2nd and 4. Rattler wants to go to the end zone, fires to Bell across the middle, makes a man miss, and he's got a touchdown. 10 yards for Jaheim Bell, the starting tight end, and Spencer Rattler starts his day 6 of 7 for 50 yards and a touchdown as we get to see Brock Vandagrift in this Bulldogs offense for the first time. They're going to go to Dejuan Edwards. He's going to get a nice 9-yard run. Dejuan Edwards, I'm not exactly sure how you pronounce his name, but he's got a nice run there. Now 2nd and 1, they're going to go to Jack Saint, who breaks a tackle. Cam Smith eludes the blocker enough to slow Marcus Jack Saint down just barely. Very easily, he could have had a touchdown there if that blocker got a good block on Cam Smith. On 2nd and 10, though, he's going to go back to him again, and Jack Saint trips over Spalding, and he's got another first down catch. Now Vandagrift out of the shotgun. He has got Edwards behind him. Pump fakes off of the play action into coverage, but it's caught. Brock Bowers, 21 yards. Who else would he throw it to? I mean, this guy is far and beyond one of the best tight ends in all of college football, and as you can see right there, makes a excellent catch in coverage. Now 2nd and 7. Vandagrift brings McClonky in motion. He's going to give it to himself, and he's stuffed in the backfield. Big hit there by Debo Williams as Adonai Mitchell is going to be back soon after a sprained ankle for the Bulldogs. So they are without one of their main receivers. Now 3rd and 8. Robinson in the backfield, brought down quickly. Branson Robinson isn't going to get anything, so the Bulldogs settle for a field goal. Rattler and company getting the ball back. 1st and 10 to the air. Got Trayvon Kenyon, and he's pushed out of bounds after 30 yards. What a catch and what a route by Trayvon Kenyon. Rattler now on 2nd and 11. Wants to throw down the middle to Bell. Off his hands, and it's intercepted by the linebacker. Dumas Johnson out across the logo. Down to the 40. Pushing forwards right around the 30, and he's wrapped up at about the 29-yard line. The Bulldogs now 2nd and 3 on that drive. Vandagrift trying to check in the interception. He's going to give a delayed handoff to Edwards, who spins down inside the 5 here. 1st and goal would be 2nd and goal now. Vandagrift in the I formation. Wants to give it to Edwards. Edwards doesn't get in. 3 yards, though. 3rd and goal now. Vandegrift once again, goal line stand, under center, gives it to Branson Robinson. Doesn't get it either. The Gamecocks trying to stand tall here. 4th and goal. Vandegrift, I formation to the fullback, who pounces outside, and he's got it. For a second there, he's stuck in the mud, but he's able to turn it upfield, and no Gamecocks were in the area. You'll see Daryl Ware dive at him, but he just wasn't quick enough. And that gives the Bulldogs a 10-7 lead as Rattler gets the ball back, and he goes to Lloyd on the left side, who gets lit up on that reception. He probably regrets catching that one, honestly. 3rd and 3 now. Rattler out of the shotgun wants to go for the first down. This time he's got Juice Wells trying to get him incorporated more in this offense. He has struggled to find a role here early in the season. Now we see Luke Doty for the first time this year on the read option. He's going to keep it himself. Got a lot of room on 1st and 10. Past the first down marker, and he's going to slide right around the Gamecock logo there. A nice run there off of the read option, as you can see. He gets us about 15 on the play now. Rattler's going to go on the next first down. He's going to give it to Lloyd right up the middle, who is untouched for about 12 yards. He ends up getting 14, and he is finally brought down by the Bulldogs. 3rd and 5 now. Rattler threw a very odd interception last drive out, rolling out of the pocket, wants to go through the air, and he just can't lead Corey Rucker enough, and they're going to have to kick this one. Try for a long field goal, about a 50-yarder. Mitch Jeter is going to hank it wide left, or wide right there, excuse me. A very, very long field goal for Mitch Jeter, but unfortunately he is not able to cash it in on the next drive. The Bulldogs, though, quickly go 3 and out as Dejon Edwards is going to be brought down off of the screen. So Rattler and company get the ball back. Now 1st and 10, Rattler rolls out of the pocket, back across his body to Sampson, who's got a first down and more. Out across the 45 and down at about the 41. Beautiful coverage there by the Bulldogs, but Sampson just worked his way free, and on a 2nd and 9, a late pitch to Lloyd from Doty off of the speed option is going to get him 14 yards untouched, essentially. 1st and 10 now. Rattler out of the shotgun. Lloyd's going to stay to block. Rattler wants to throw. Rolls past the defensive lineman. He wants to go to the air. Nobody quite open. Goes to the end zone instead. Brandon Robinson in coverage was Dan Jackson, and that one falls, thankfully, harmlessly to the ground. Now 2nd and 10. Rattler with Lloyd to his left. He wants to throw it again. Got a man wide open. Jaheim Bell to the 5 into the end zone. Touchdown. Jaheim Bell, his 2nd of the day. And the star tight end is very happy he returned to South Carolina for a season, as he has a very, very good start to the season. He's had a few touchdowns in the first 2 games. Now he adds 2 in this one alone, as Marcus Jack Saints got a nice 9-yard catch on first down. We are here in the final 2 minutes of the 2nd quarter. It's going to go to Mitchell again. Adonai Mitchell back from his ankle sprain, and he's got 11 yards now. Debo Williams once again on the tackle. Brock Vandegrift in the shotgun formation. He gives it to Edwards, or he keeps it from Edwards. He's going to fire to the outside, and Brock to Brock there. Brock Bowers, a 17-yard catch. A beautifully run play by this Georgia offense. 1st and 10 now. Vandegrift out of the shotgun. Edwards is going to leave to the left side. He's going to go to the air again. Ladd McConkey has got a first down and more as he cuts it upfield. Marcellus Dial got burnt in coverage. 3rd and 4 now. The Bulldogs are knocking on the doorstep. Vandegrift to the end zone. Wide open. Adonai Mitchell, 7 yards and a touchdown for number 5, the veteran receiver here late in this 2nd quarter. But the Gamecocks have a lot of time left here. About 50 seconds remain. Rattler on 1st and 10, though, wants to roll out of the pocket. Not really seeing anything. He just gets hit as he tries to let go of it. Thankfully, they call it an incomplete pass. 2nd and 10 now. Rattler steps up into the pocket, delivers a pass, and the freshman, Brandon Robinson, he's going to have 32 on the play. The Gamecocks get deep into Bulldog territory on that one. 2nd and 10 now. Doty keeps it on the read option up the middle, breaking tackles. He does get hit hard off the left side there, but he's got another first down. Now Rattler on 2nd and 10 to the end zone. Once again, it's Jaheim Bell. 10-yard touchdown to the tight end, and that is his 3rd of the day. Jaheim Bell is making his mark as the Bulldogs will start the 2nd half with a run to Edwards up the left side, and he's got 3 on the play. Now 3rd and 4 for Vandegrift and company starting this second half. He takes the snap. He wants to keep it with Edwards on the ground, who isn't going to be able to force Kaba over, and he's got 2 of those yards needed. But the Bulldogs go 3 and out here to start the second half, and the Gamecocks with a vital chance to take over in this game as Juice Wells once again just sits in the hole in that zone. The same route from what we saw early in that first quarter. He's got about 9 yards now. Marshawn Lloyd on first down is going to be cut down after 7. 2nd and 3 now. Marshawn's going to get it once again. He's got a first down on the counter run up the middle. Wanted it to try and cut it outside, but he wasn't able to quite get out there. 2nd and 6 now. Rattler wants to go to the air. This time he's got Corey Rucker right down the middle. He's got 8 yards on that one. 1st and 10 now. Rattler's going to go to McDowell, who's in the game now, spinning after a nice arm tackle there by the Bulldogs, but he's able to get about 6 more yards after first contact. 2nd and inches now. Lloyd busted in the backfield. The halfback swing goes nowhere. In a 3rd and 5 now. Rattler wants to go to Lloyd on the ground, bouncing off of tacklers, but he's not going to get there. 2 yards on that one, and Mitch Jeter is going to miss it again. This one he does hook left. Man, that is a chip shot there for the Jeter man. Unfortunately, he is not able to hit it, so his struggles from last year continue as the Bulldogs now get the ball back on 2nd and 11, and McConkey's got a nice post route there at about the 40 is where he's brought down. 3rd and 10 now. Vandegrift, a double back set. He's going to take the snap, obviously going to throw it to the screen to Edwards, who's got a lot of blocking in front of him, out to the 30, down to the 25, and out about the 23-yard line. 1:25 seconds left in this third. Vandegrift on 3rd down again goes to the air. This time it's Edwards again, breaking a tackle again. Another one pushed out of bounds finally at about the 6-yard line. Another 3rd down conversion that could have been prevented if we tackled a little bit better. Now 1st and goal. Vandegrift wants to throw again to the outside. He's got Harrington. Brandon Harrington had a touchdown in his sights, but he steps out of bounds. 2nd and goal now. Vandegrift in the I formation. We've seen this in the formation a lot. He's going to go to Robinson. Robinson cuts outside, and Cam Smith fell down in coverage. And the Bulldogs strike late in this 3rd quarter as the Gamecocks now face a 3rd and 8. Rattler rolling around, nowhere to go, and he's sacked. Loses 9 on the play, and we will head into that 4th quarter down by 3. 24-21, and you've got to remember, if we lose this game, 2 missed field goals by Mitch Jeter. One a 50-yard attempt, one was only about 35. So the Gamecocks are down by a field goal when they missed 2 field goals earlier. Now 2nd and 10. Vandegrift wouldn't give it to Robinson. He's going to lose 4 on the play. A stop here would be massive as Jordan Birch comes in and makes an excellent tackle. David Spalding dove the wrong way entirely now. 3rd and 14. Vandegrift takes the snap, wants to go to the air, had a man wide open on the right side for a second, and Cam Smith would have loved an interception there, but a bat down is just as good as the Gamecocks get the ball back now. 1st and 10. Rattler is going to be a play action to the air again to Jaheim Bell down the middle, has had himself a day. That one goes for 12 yards. Haven't seen him since that 3rd touchdown at the end of the half, but 3 touchdowns is a lot to contribute, and Rattler is hit from behind. 7-yard loss. Jalen Carter, his first sack of the day, the dominant defensive lineman. 2nd and 17 now. Rattler is going to go to Kenyon, who just can't break the tackle. If he breaks that, that is a touchdown. 3rd and 5 now. Rattler jet sweep to Rucker. Rucker trying to get the edge. He doesn't. 4th and 1. The Gamecocks looking to tie it up. This one's good down the middle. Mitch Jeter gets his first field goal of the day. He's missed 2, so he's now 1 for 3 on the day. Vandegrift on 1st and 10 is going to find Brock Bowers on a bit of a motion play there. Bowers gets them about 7. Now they're going to face a 3rd and 3 after getting nothing on 2nd down. It's going to be a fake to Griffin, a pitch to Branson Robinson. He's going to lose 4 yards. So the Gamecocks, all tied up with the 4th-ranked Bulldogs, have a chance to do something here. On 1st and 10, it's going to be a 3-yard loss. Marshawn Lloyd gets brought down. Now 2nd and 13. Rattler across the middle to Bell once again, stumbling but he falls forward, reaches out, and he's going to get a 15-yard first down for the Gamecocks. Now, the clock ticks down on 3rd and inches. Marshawn Lloyd's got the first down, 3 yards. Gamecocks running it all the way down, 3rd and 9 now. Doty's going to go to McDowell, who is right up the middle. It's going to be a 4th down, about a minute 25 remaining as Kroger and the punt team come out. Kroger gonna look to pin them deep, takes the snap. It's going to be a fake deep down the field to Darrell Ware. 1st and goal, South Carolina. Darrell Ware, the defensive linebacker. He is a bench player, makes a beautiful 30-yard grab, and now Rattler on 1st and goal to the air, deflected from Juice Wells' hands. You don't need a touchdown here. Obviously, you would like it, but they just need a field goal. Rattler on 3rd and goal as the clock ticks down. The Bulldogs are not using their timeouts. Rattler is going to run it down as far as possible, and we can just sit back and watch and hope for a miracle here. Rattler in the shotgun, McDowell to his right, calls a man in motion, wants to go to the air, nobody open, he just is forced to get rid of it rather than take the sack. Brandon Robinson was maybe open for a second, but Mitch Dieter is going to kick it right down the uprights, and the Gamecocks take a 3-point lead with 27 seconds left. The guts it takes to go for it on 4th down there. Vandegrift on 1st and 10. Takes the sack from Dawkins. Terrell Dawkins with the play of the game on the defensive side. 2nd and 21 for all the marbles. Vandegrift wants to run. Tripped up and sacked. The Bulldogs don't call their timeout. And the clock will run down. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1 and 0. Your South Carolina Gamecocks have just upset the 4th-ranked team in the country, 27-24, off of a magnificent performance from Spencer Rattler and a gutsy head coaching call by head coach Belak Schmeems. I mean, wow. I thought the game was over there at the end. The Gamecocks were in a 4th down scenario, and they looked like they were going to punt it, but Kai Kroger steps up to the plate and delivers the biggest pass of his life for 30 yards to Darrell Ware. Now, Spencer Rattler had himself a day, 22 of 33, 253 yards, 3 touchdowns, only 1 interception, and that one was kind of off the hands of Jaheim Bell. So it was a little bit of both parties there. Marshawn Lloyd still can't break the 100-yard mark, just barely, 21 for 98. Juju McDowell added 3 for 17. Luke Doty 2 for 28. Corey Rucker 2 for 10. Lavosa Carroll 1 yard, and Landon Sampson 7 yards on 1 rush. Jaheim Bell 6 for 88. And I mean, come on now. 3 touchdowns for the big tight end. Juice Wells 4 for 38. He finally got involved a little bit today. Marshawn Lloyd struggled to get yards in the air game. Corey Rucker 3 for 20. Landon Sampson 2 for 28. Trayvon Kenyon 2 for 42. Darrell Ware, obviously, we saw with the 1 for 30. Brandon Robinson, 1 for 32. And Juju McDowell with the 5-yard reception for his only 1 for today. Debo Williams, 8 tackles, again, 1 for loss. He has been leading this team in tackles every week now. David Spalding, no interceptions this week, but he had 7 total tackles and 3 tackles for loss. I mean, very impressive for a safety. Mo Kaba, 6 tackles, 2 assisted tackles, 4 solo tackles. Cam Smith had 4 total tackles, 1 for loss. I got a lot of guys down here. Got a lot of playing time. Jaheim Bell also added a tackle there because he, the interception. Field goals made. Mitch Dieter, we would have won this game a lot earlier if he had made 2 of those, or those other 2 field goals, but at the end of the day, he came through in the clutch, making 2 field goals there in the 4th quarter to both tie it and to put us up on the Bulldogs. I mean, Brock Vandegrift didn't even play bad. 20 for 26, 236 passing yards, 1 touchdown. Dejon Edwards had 12 attempts for 68 yards, so they were successful in what they tried to do. They just didn't do enough of it, and they weren't able to get going late in that game. They really stalled out there, and that's how the Gamecocks are going to end this Week 3 matchup as we head into Week 4. We will be taking on the Texas A&M Aggies. They are currently ranked 21st in the country. Last year, we saw they had a very disappointing season, but now they have climbed their way back. They're 3-0 on the season, 21st in the rankings. And statistically, they're better than us in every way, shape, and form. They're better with us overall. They're better than our offense. They're better than our defense. Points per game, they've got it. Total offense, rush offense, they've got it. Pass offense, we have them by a decent margin. Total defense, they have it on us a good bit there. Or by not a good bit, by about 3 spots. We're 40th, they're 37th in the country. Rush defense, we beat them out by about 6 spots. Pass defense, we lose to them by about 8 spots, so nothing too crazy there. In turnover differential, they beat us pretty heavily, so they're having a very successful season turning it over. And as you can see, they have won some decent games. Won against Tennessee 33-7, beat Florida 35-23, a team that at the time in Florida was ranked in the top 6. So a very good win there for the Aggies against the Gators. South Carolina, unfortunately for us, we lost that matchup against the Tar Heels, but we have beat 2 ranked teams already, and I'm under the impression, what's another ranked team? Why can't we beat another ranked team? Max Johnson, though, has started the season on fire. 71 attempts, 39 completions, so not really a great overall completion percentage, but 618 yards, 7 touchdowns, not a single interception. Devon A-Chain, we saw last year in our game, he was pretty effective against us. 52 attempts, 372 yards, and 2 touchdowns. And also on the receiving side, they have Lane with 5 catches, 152 yards, and a touchdown. As you can see, the Gamecocks, Spencer Rattler did throw another interception, but so far he is on par to be a little bit better than last year. 9 touchdowns, 4 interceptions, about 757 yards. It has been an interesting start to the season, as we'll check out the top 25 to see what's going on around the country. It doesn't really change too much. Michigan State does jump up a few spots. We see a lot of teams kind of jump up because of that Georgia loss. None of these teams necessarily won major games. They just jumped up because Georgia lost, as you can see. Like Michigan State was originally 10th. Georgia lost. They beat Eastern Michigan, so they obviously move up a few spots because of the opening in front of them. Oregon State cracks the top 10 for the first time. They are a 93 overall in this simulation. Georgia stays in the top 10. Interested to see what happens with them as we move forward in this season. Tough loss for the Bulldogs to start early in this year after especially having a good start to their season. They beat up on Ole Miss. They eked by against Clemson, a team that is 0-1 right now on the season, but they were not able to do it against us, and that's going to hurt them going forward with their FCC Conference Championship chances. Washington, a team that we have seen slowly climb back up the rankings over this last season and a half now. They are now 11th in the country. Mississippi State coming off a win against Auburn, and next week they have a game against Georgia. Interested to see how they do. They played us fairly close. We barely beat Georgia. Will Mississippi State be able to take on the Bulldogs and upset them? It's a Bulldog matchup, so I guess we're going to see who exactly is the most impressive Bulldog. As you can see, the Gators, the loss to the Aggies, and then the win against the Rebels. They are currently 13th in the country. And North Carolina, that is a hard one to take. They lose to the 18th ranked Eastern Carolina Pirates. The Gamecocks lost to them a week ago, 42-35 in an offensive shootout. And now they go out there and they lose to the East Carolina Pirates. That does not help the Gamecocks' argument for going far into the championship round at the end of the season, because we lose to a team that loses to East Carolina. But East Carolina is ranked right now in this simulation. Boston College is going to make 1 spot there, move 1 spot up there to the 15th. TCU is without Max Duggan, I believe. I don't think they would have Max Duggan. Yeah, they have moved on from Max Duggan. They are 16th right now after coming off of a win in week 1. They haven't played in a week, but they did beat out Florida Atlantic. USC lost to Washington State, so they fall out of the top 10 as they take on Oregon State this next episode as 9-17 matchup. East Carolina, we just saw there, they went from unranked and a win against San Diego State to ranked at 18th and another win against the 6th ranked North Carolina Tar Heels. That is an impressive win for the Pirates there. Utah stays at 19. Virginia Tech stays at 20. Texas A&M jumps up to 21. Michigan stays at 22. UCLA falls after a loss to Texas. The 2nd ranked Longhorns take down the Bruins there as they fall to 23. Kansas State at 24 and Syracuse down to 25. And as far as recruiting goes, I I believe we have a few visits ready to go. I don't know how many or who exactly is ready to go, but we are pretty much in the same spot that we have been. No commits yet. Nothing crazy. We haven't really been able to change up the points or anything because obviously, you know, all of our points are allocated right now, so we haven't really been able to get much going. As you can see, unfortunately, the earliest, or I guess I should say the latest visit we were able to get for Aaron Buchanan, a 4-star lineman, defensive lineman out of Florida, was week 8. That is going to be a very tough hill to climb, as Alabama and San Diego State are both behind us on that visit schedule, but it's going to be tough to win him over anyways. And here we are, week 8 for the kicker Marcus Clark out of Clearwater, South Carolina. As far as the other guys go, we are going to have a few more visits ready. Will Archer, don't really want to get him in too early because we definitely need a center. As you can see, he is pretty far ahead, so I'm going to get him in. I'll probably go with week 8 for Will Archer, because I think if we get him in at week 8, we really have a chance to win him early over in the season. Justin McDonald is a guy that we're leading on, and also if we put him in at week 8 with Will Archer, we would have a plus 50 complimentary visit, so I think that's a good idea there. I know you want to go later for a lot of these guys, but I think it's typically you want to go later for the guys that are, you know, kind of middle of the pack, the guys that you don't know for sure you're going to get. We'll go week 12 for James Macklin. Jeff Clark obviously is a big name here. We would love to get a 74 overall middle linebacker out of Greer, South Carolina. Right now we lead the board for him, but I'm debating here between a bye week and a week we actually play. You've got to think we're going to have week 12, then we have week 13, and we have week 14 and 15. 14 is against Clemson. We play them away this year. Man, do I go with the bye week because I know it will be later, but I really want to get some points. I'm going to go with the bye week for Jeff Clark because it'll put us as low as possible on the totem pole. And then for Julius Jackson, a strong safety, a guy that we should be first place on, but very close behind us is West Virginia. We're going to put him on there with the week 12 matchup of Ohio, and hopefully we can get him going there. And that's about all the visits we are able to schedule this week. Hopefully that some of these guys will start committing across the next few weeks, but it's going to be a long road going forward, and I hope that you guys will join me in next week as we play the 21st ranked Texas A&M Aggies at College Station. It's going to be a tough road matchup, and don't sleep on these Aggies whatsoever. If you guys enjoy this series, hit the like button, subscribe, turn on post notifications so you never miss an upload. And I'll see you guys next week.